Your hens can recognize over 100 faces, and yours is one of them. They've been studying you since your first scoop of feed. Most keepers never realize the flock reads them before the gate even opens. By the end of this, you'll see your backyard the way your hens do, and how to use it for a calmer flock and more eggs. Number 2 surprises everyone. Your hens have already ranked you inside their flock, and getting it wrong is why some birds flinch when you reach in. And number 7 quietly decides how many eggs land in your basket. Stick to the end, and I'll give you the exact 3-day routine I use to rebuild a flock's trust after a predator scare. It's never been in a video before. Let's start with what they figured out in your first week, your schedule. By the end of your first week of feeding, your hens already knew your timing better than you know it yourself. Here's why that matters before we get into how it works. A flock that knows when food is coming is a calm flock, not pacing the fence, not burning energy guessing. And a calm flock lays steadily and holds up through a cold snap. The schedule is the foundation everything else sits on. You've seen it. You round the corner with your coffee and they're already there, lined up at the gate, watching the exact spot you're about to appear from. You didn't ring a bell, they just knew. A hen runs hot. Her body temperature sits up around 106 degrees, and she burns through energy fast. She genuinely can't afford to guess about you, so she doesn't.
What she's doing is reading a sequence: the kitchen light, the back door spring, the scrape of the feed bin lid. She's chained those signals together in order, and around day 5 or 6, that sequence started changing her behavior. She stopped foraging the back of the run and started staking out the gate. Keep that word gate in your head. It comes back at number 6 as the single most important coordinate in their whole world. Here's the cost most keepers miss. If your timing is all over the place, the flock doesn't wait patiently. They get restless, they pace, they pick at each other. An erratic schedule trains a low-grade stress into the bird, and stressed hens lay less. You don't need to be precise.
You need to be predictable. A loose window, sometime between 7 and 8, is plenty. They know when you come. But they've worked out something stranger: who you are in their world. This is the number 2 reveal, where you rank. Your flock has slotted you into their pecking order, not as a person watching them, as a member of the flock, with a rank. Once you know you're being ranked, you can hold that rank calmly, and a flock that reads you as a steady, top-of-order bird is easier to handle, settles faster, and lays better. Rank is the lens chickens see their whole world through. Chickens are hierarchy animals down to the bone. Every bird in that run knows who eats first, who steps aside, who can be pushed. They don't switch that lens off when they look at you.
Your size, your steadiness, and most of all, whether you back down, all of it gets read as rank. My first spring with chickens, I had a buff Orpington we called Biscuit, and Biscuit ran me. She'd puff up and rush my boots, and I'd step back every single time. I thought I was being gentle. What I was actually telling the whole flock, in a language they understood perfectly, was that I ranked below Biscuit. And it spread. Within a month, the other ends were harder to catch and jumpier at the nest. It took me until that fall to learn the fix wasn't being firmer with my hands. It was just not moving, standing my ground, calm, and letting her break around me like water around a rock. That's the hidden layer.
Most keepers accidentally signal low rank, the flinch, the step back, the quick pull of the hand. And a flock that reads you as low rank is exactly the flock that pecks at you and never quite settles. Holding still isn't unkind, it's speaking their language. So far, you've seen 2 of the 7, your schedule and your rank. Here's the thread tying all 7 together. Everything your flock learns about you, it learns to answer one question: are you safe to be near? The better you understand what they're reading, the more you can answer that on purpose. The next 3 are the ones they read fastest. There's one signal your flock reads that you genuinely cannot fake. I'll show you which one at number 5. Your hens recognize you, not your household, you.
As distinct from your spouse, the neighbor over the fence, the mail carrier, a visiting grandchild. A flock bonded to your face stays calm for you specifically. It's why your birds settle when you do chores and turn skittish when someone else covers a weekend. Chickens have genuinely sharp visual recognition. Research credits them with telling apart more than 100 individuals, flockmates and humans both. From where a hen stands, she's reading the shape of your face, your height, the way you walk, the jacket you wear most mornings. She files that profile under safe, and that profile is yours. Try it. Have someone else do the feeding for 3 or 4 days while you stay inside. The birds hang back. They take longer to come down.
Some won't come at all until they catch sight of you through the window. That gap is recognition, measured. The hidden layer cuts both ways. If one person in the house is always the one who catches hens for a health check or a nail trim, the flock files that face under stressful, and they'll start avoiding that person even on ordinary days. Spread the unpleasant jobs around. Don't let one face carry all the bad news. If you're the kind of person who wants a backyard that genuinely works, animals that are calm, settled, and earning their keep, not just a yard with some chickens in it, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe, and the next one finds you. They've memorized your face, and paired with it, they've memorized your sound.
Your flock has learned your voice, your specific voice, and the whole sound signature of your routine. That makes your voice a tool. A consistent soft call before you come into view gives the flock a half-second of warning. And that warning is the difference between a calm approach and a panicked flush. A panicked flush is how eggs get cracked and hens get hurt. Chickens have a real vocabulary, well over 20 distinct calls, each with its own meaning. They're deeply tuned to sound. They've learned your door, your footsteps on the path, the scrape of the scoop against the bin. And they answer a familiar voice differently than a stranger's. Remember the sequence from number 1. Light, door, bin lid? Sound is half of it. Your hens aren't really watching for you.
They're listening for you, and the watching just confirms it. The hidden layer: if sound builds trust, sudden noise breaks it. A slammed gate, shouting near the run, a radio against the coop wall, all of it reads to a chicken as alarm. A flock kept on edge by noise burns energy it should be putting into eggs. If you're setting up a coop with any of this in mind, where the gate sits, how the run is laid out, the quiet corners and clean sightlines a flock needs to feel safe, that's a big part of what I put into a book called Backyard Chicken Basics. It's written for exactly this: a calmer, healthier flock from the ground up. Links in the description if you want it. So far, everything they've learned is steady. Your time, your rank, your face, your voice. But there's one thing they read fresh every single day. This is the signal you can't fake. Your hens read your mood, not by magic, through your body. Your walking speed, your posture, your hands, the set of your shoulders. Unlike your schedule or your jacket, this is the one thing you cannot fake. When you learn to walk in calm, the whole flock stays calm. And that means easier handling, fewer cracked eggs, less pecking and feather pulling. Same yard, same person, same feed. Walk out relaxed, coffee in hand, no rush, and a hen barely shifts. Walk out tense, late, half arguing with someone on the phone, and the same birds scatter off the roost like you threw something. Here's the mechanism. Chickens evolved reading movement in predators. A hawk gliding is hunting. A cat low and slow is stalking. Fast, direct, jerky movement means threat. Loose and unhurried means safe. They scan your gait with that same ancient software. They didn't read your mind, they read your body. So be honest with yourself for a second. When is the last time you walked into your coop genuinely unhurried? Not checking a box, just slow. The hidden layer stings a little. Those "I don't have time today" mornings, the rushed, distracted chore runs, aren't free. Each one teaches the flock that your arrival is sometimes a threat, and that chips at the trust everything else on this list is building. A fix that costs nothing? On the days you're wound up, take 3 breaths before you open the gate. The flock isn't being dramatic. They're reading you accurately.
Slow down, and the run stays calmer for everyone, including you. They read your mood in the moment, and they've stitched every one of these readings into something bigger, a map. Every regular hen in your run is carrying a map, not on paper, in her head, and it's more detailed than yours. Keep the map stable, and your flock stays confident. A confident flock ranges further, forages more, and lays steadier.
Every time you change the map, you cost them that confidence. From where a hen stands, she knows exactly how many seconds it takes to reach the pop door if a hawk drops in. She knows which corner gets sun first on a cold morning, which bush is dense enough to dive into and which one isn't. You've maybe had that yard for years.
She's had it for weeks, and she knows it better than you do. And the gate? Number 1, remember the gate? On her map, the gate isn't a gate. It's the single most important coordinate in her whole world, because it's where you and the food appear. The spot you stand to scatter scratch is a known location. Your path across the grass is a known route. The moment you started feeding, you became a permanent landmark. Here's the part to take seriously. That map updates within hours of anything bad. A hawk pass, a dog at the fence, a raccoon in the night. Areas get marked unsafe. Birds abandon corners they used to love. So when you drag the feeder to a new spot or shift the waterer every other week, you're forcing a costly relearn each time. Stable beats optimal.
Pick decent positions and leave them. This is the kind of thing this channel goes deep on. The small, unglamorous stuff that decides whether a backyard actually works. If that's the backyard you're building, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. They've mapped your yard and your routes, but the last thing they've figured out is the one that shows up directly in your egg basket. And here it is, number 7, the one that decides your egg count. Your flock has made a decision about you, whether you are safe to be vulnerable around, and that decision shows up directly in how much they lay. A flock that trusts you lays in the open nest boxes instead of hiding eggs in the hedge. They dust bathe and roost calmly with you nearby. They don't go off-lay from low-grade stress.
Trust isn't a soft, feel-good extra. It's an input to your egg count. Here's a signal most keepers read backwards. When a hen drops down and squats flat as you reach toward her, a lot of people think that's fear. It's close to the opposite. That squat is a submission and trust posture, and in a young hen, it's also one of the clearest signs she's about to start laying. A hen who squats for you has filed you as safe. This is what most people get backwards. They think the eggs come first, and a calm flock is a nice bonus. It's the other way around. The calm comes first. The eggs follow it. The hidden layer? Trust is slow to build and fast to lose.
One rough grab, one hard chase, one bad scare at the nest box, and a hen can relocate her laying or pause altogether. Which brings us to the one situation where all of this gets tested at once. So the real picture was never, I feed the chickens. It's a relationship. Your flock has spent every day you've kept them quietly studying you. Your time, your rank, your face, your voice, your mood, your map, and adjusting how they live around the answer. Now, the routine I promised you at the start, what I actually do for the 3 days after something gets into the run. A hawk, a dog, a raccoon. The flock is rattled, the map just got rewritten, and trust took a hit. Most keepers make it worse here by rushing back to normal, grabbing birds, doing checks, chasing stragglers in.
That just confirms to the flock that the danger is still here, wearing your face. Here's what I do instead. Day 1, nothing extra. I feed at the normal time on the normal path, and otherwise leave them completely alone. No catching, no checks. I'm just letting them see that the routine still holds, that the worst thing in their world today is not me. Day 2, I bring scratch, sit down low near the run, and stay still. I don't reach for a single bird. I let them choose to come to me. A flock that approaches you on its own terms rebuilds the safe profile faster than any handling could. Day 3, I go back to normal handling, but the calmest, most confident hens first, never the spooked ones.
Those steady birds settling in my hands tells the nervous ones in their own language that I'm safe again. 3 days, no force. It works because you're not arguing with their fear. You're giving the map time to mark you safe again. The mistake to avoid is the obvious one. Don't rush day 1. Patience on day 1 is the whole routine. So here's what I want to know. Out of the 7, which one surprised you most? And be honest, what rank do you think your flock has actually handed you? Drop the number in the comments. I read every single one, and the patterns in them tell me what to cover next. You can read your flock now.
You know how they see you, and you know how to keep that trust steady.
But reading them is only half of keeping them, because a calm, trusting flock still can't see every threat coming. The other half is knowing what actually takes a hen down, especially in her first year. I made a video on exactly that. 12 specific ways backyard chickens die before they ever pay you back, and how to stop each one. It's one of the most useful things on this channel, and it's the one I'd watch right after this. It's on screen now. Tomorrow, before the gate even opens, the run will go quiet for a second when you round the corner. That pause is them reading you. Give them something calm to find.